Okay, our next speaker is Daniel Sheehey. He is an author, journalist, national speaker, and activist, reporter on immigration law enforcement. He has worked as a writer for 30 years and since 9/11 dedicated himself to awakening Americans and inspiring them to action. He is the author of the acclaimed book, Fighting Immigration Anarchy, American Patriots Battle to Save the Nation. His book includes a 38-page chapter on Congressman Tancredo, the longest essay ever published about him. Dan is one of the nation's leading experts on the scheme to merge the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. Please welcome Dan Sheehey.
Thank you very much. I first met Tom at a large rally for him on November 1st, 2003 in Lockton Footbridge at the Jeffers Estate. Who was there? Quite a few of you. Weeks earlier, I had begun writing my book, and Congressman Tancredo was one of the patriots I was featuring, so I attended the rally to hear what he had to say. Tom talked about his immigrant grandparents who came to America many decades ago. He talked about what he calls the cult of multiculturalism. He told the crowd that his grandparents would argue over his grandfather speaking Italian. Tom said, "My grandmother would say, speak American and be Americanized." It was a word we'd use, Americanized. It meant connecting with his country. He pointed out that his grandparents and millions of other immigrants from earlier in the 20th century came to America for economic opportunities and to become Americans. While most people come to the U.S. today for those same economic opportunities, Tom said, many of them demonstrate no desire to connect or to disconnect from their places of origin. They come to America but maintain loyalty to their mother countries. In the past several decades, Tom explained, America's schools, the media, and even the churches have said there's nothing of value in Western civilization in America. They have preached the doctrine of radical multiculturalism, he said. Tom was not referring to the idea that Americans should accept and appreciate the many different cultures that enrich our lives and our nation. He was referring to what he calls the cult of multiculturalism, which has as its goal the elimination of the concept of America as a nation state. He said the multiculturalists also encourage immigrants to refrain from integrating into the American mainstream. Instead, immigrants are urged to retain their native languages and cultures and even their political connections to their countries of origin. He said, quote, "This is what's worrisome. I believe that massive legal and illegal immigration combined with multiculturalism represents the greatest danger this country has ever faced." It will eventually determine not just what kind of nation we are in the future, it will determine whether or not we are a nation at all. This is the dagger pointed at the heart of America, unquote. Ladies and gentlemen, this very weekend and today at UCLA, there are so many separate identity group graduations, the school is finding it almost impossible to schedule them. There are separate graduations for Chicanas, a broader Hispanic group called Raza, Blacks, Filipinos, Vietnamese, and Iranians. And there is talk of a Cambodian graduation at UCLA in the near future. Where is the American graduation ceremony Tom and the rest of us wonder? But Tom also tells us that in addition to assimilation in American culture, the massive immigration invasion affects virtually every aspect of our daily lives. National security, jobs and wages, crime, education, healthcare, welfare costs, public health, our common English language, resources, sprawl, and congestion. With the illegal alien invasion and the massive legal immigration severely affecting so many aspects of our daily lives, why are the elitists pushing so hard for amnesty for people here illegally? And pushing so hard for tens of millions of additional so-called guest workers? Because the elitists are pushing our wages down to the third world level of third world countries, erasing our borders and erasing America. America is being merged with Mexico and Canada into a North American Union patterned after the European Union, and this is a path to a world socialist government run by the super rich. Since Tom was first elected to Congress in 1999, he has become the leader of the pro-borders, pro-sovereignty movement on Capitol Hill for putting America ahead of the Republican Party in politics. Tom is the only one running for president who has made immigration his platform. He understands that if the massive immigration invasion isn't stopped, the current immigration laws aren't enforced, and the emerging North American Union isn't stopped, America will no longer exist, and nothing else will really matter. It is our job, ladies and gentlemen, to do everything we possibly can to support this courageous American patriot. God bless you. God bless Tom Tancredo. God bless America.